Can we get 200 foot-pounds of force from the Kobalt compact impact wrench? Let's find out. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. This is the Kobalt brushless 24-volt compact impact wrench, specifically half-inch friction ring compact impact wrench, and model number is KCW 5024B-03. Just remember, it's the 24-volt compact impact wrench. So they're boasting this has 200 foot-pounds of force. Now we're assuming breakaway force, but we'll test both breakaway and fastening torque as well. Now as far as weight of this, it's going to come bare tool, so we will measure it with both a bare tool and with a 4 amp hour battery as we use it here. So let's zero this out. And so we're looking at bare tool just above 2.5 pounds, or just below 2.5 pounds, 2 pounds, 7.5 ounces. Now, you're never going to use a tool without a battery. It's useless. So we're looking at 4 pounds, 3 ounces with that battery, with the 4 amp hour battery. Now, slimming down to a 2 amp hour, you're probably going to trim some weight off of there. But again, I think that's probably pretty typical of a use is going to be the 4 amp hour battery with the half-inch impact wrench. Because let's face it, you want as much punch as possible with as much runtime as possible, so that 4 amp hour battery is going to do well for you. This is a lithium ion based battery as well as a brushless tool, so you're going to get efficient runtime, you're going to get a lot more power out of the brushless motor, or a good bit more power anyway. But let's see actually how much we can get out of this. Let's also go over the rest of the features. We'll take it over to the test bench, we'll actually test the loosening torque as well as the fastening torque, and then we'll come back, see what we think about it. So this is the Kobalt KCW 5024B, or half-inch 24-volt impact wrench. Now this is our compact impact wrench. It does have a half-inch anvil in both friction ring as well as it has a place for a pin too, so you can actually use a pin and O-ring on this or just use the friction ring for any of your sockets. It does have 3 speeds or 3 power modes here. One of the things I did notice about it is got the indication of a screw right here that kind of tells you that basically this is more countersinking. As a mechanics tool, I'd love to see that gone, but I get it. Probably carries over from an impact driver or something like that. That's real small potatoes of a complaint, by the way. We're running a 4 amp hour battery on here that's fully charged, but you can get this as a bare tool. I believe it's $99 if I'm not mistaken. I'll reiterate that when we wrap up. It is a brushless tool. It's part of their 24-volt brushless line, so it carries their brushless motor and obviously running on their lithium-ion battery packs. The 3 speeds are, speed 1 is up to 1,700 RPM, speed 2 up to 2,000, and speed 3 up to 2,500 RPMs, and you get a variable speed trigger. So you can see I can make this crawl if I want to, or all the way up to 2,500 RPMs, or in that case that was just 1,700, and then when we go to, there's 2,500. So again, we can go as slow as we want to, making that nut and bolt crawl, and then using that true variable speed trigger to dial in how much power we want. There's no auto mode or anything else on this, but I don't think it's needed on a compact impact wrench. You get a typical directional lever here, right here for your thumb and forefinger to be able to slide back or forth. Doesn't seem to be in the way either, pulling the trigger and accidentally hitting that. The typical rubber overmolding on the handle as well as throughout the body. You do get an LED light, a single LED right here at the base of the head to shine on the fastener. So let's go over use this and see how strong it is. One more mention is that as far as impacts per minute, from 0 to 3,300 impacts per minute, and then they claim 200 foot-pounds of force on this. So we'll check both fastening torque and loosening torque to see how close we can get to that number. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the typical. We're going to take the impact wrench. It's the Kobalt 24-volt compact impact wrench. We're going to tighten each one of these nuts for 5 seconds each. So as soon as it starts impacting, we'll count to 5. We'll move on to the next one, do all 10. We'll take our torque wrench, break these free, and then get a torque measurement, and we'll divide by a factor, and we'll explain that here in a moment. Now, all of these are freshly greased, and I do that so that we get a nice uniform measurement. If you're not lubricating and possibly of galling threads, things like that, you don't get an even measurement across all of them. That's why we do that. That's why we keep them greased, so they're every time we hit those. It should be pretty uniform and pretty equal across the board. So, a little hearing protection. 4 amp hour battery, fully charged. And forward on speed 3. Okay, so Kobalt claims this has 200 foot-pounds of torque, 200 foot-pounds of force. Now, we don't know whether that's tightening or loosening, but we'll see both ways. So we'll take our socket off, put it on our trusty torque wrench, and then let's measure some of these. Let's measure all of them. Okay, so we got our torque wrench, our digital proto torque wrench. First one is 122.2. 115.3, 122.6, 135.2, 124.5, 125.6, 119.6, 124.8, 140 even. And last one, 124.6. Okay, so we'll get back to those fastening numbers in just one moment. So that's what we were checking, was the fastening strength. But now what we're going to do, we're going to take our torque gun here and we're going to tighten these down to a specified amount of torque, and then we'll come back and see if we can't back those off using the Kobalt compact torque wrench, or impact wrench, sorry, compact impact wrench. So we've got this set at 100 foot-pounds for the first one. So let me go ahead and then I'm going to go to 150, 200, and then 250. So we've got 100, 150, 200, 250. Now I'm going to go ahead and carry on and get my other torque gun, and I'm going to carry on and just go ahead and do 3 and 350 as well. So we've got up to 250. So let's do 300 here and 350 here. And then I might as well go ahead and go to 400. Maybe we'll need it. We'll see. 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, yeah. Okay, so we have our fasteners torqued to, again, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, and 400 foot-pounds. Let's see if we can get through those, or how many we can get through. We'll go to loosen. Again, we're in power mode or speed mode 3. Still a full battery on our 24 volt, 4 amp hour battery. Here we go. 100 foot-pounds. Okay, 150. All right, 200. Got that. 250. Got that. 300. Okay, so that's longer than I typically would let it hit, but it was starting to move before the end of 10 seconds, so that's why I went ahead and let it finish. I doubt it's going to get this one at 350, but let's see. Nope. So no on the 350, got the 300, so does it do more than 200 foot-pounds? I would say so. On the fastening force, I bet we're going to come back when we finish our numbers. Probably not quite there, but again, they don't dictate that it's 200 foot-pounds of fastening torque. And typically when somebody's touting, marketing claims, usually they're bragging about their breakaway force, which again, we torqued this to 300 foot-pounds and it hit that fine. Now, I'm going to do one last test. A lot of times people think, oh, it's an anomaly or kind of my numbers aren't correct, what have you. I'm going to go ahead and torque down all 10 of these to 200 foot-pounds and then just see how quickly it'll break all those free, or to see if it'll do it at all in succession, one after another, all 10 at 200 foot-pounds. Okay, so let's torque these to 200 foot-pounds. Now they are all torqued to 200 foot-pounds. Now let's run through. Still 4 amp hour battery, full charge, still in speed mode 3. Let's see if we can break all those free. Took care of it, all 10 at 200 foot-pounds. Rather impressive results from the Kobalt 24 volt brushless half-inch compact impact wrench. Yeah, I got all that in one breath. Anyway, what we got on fastening torque, so we fastened all those, we backed them off with our torque wrench, we got an average of 125.4 foot-pounds. Now then we take that number and we divide by a factor, because it takes less force to break a fastener free than it does to tighten it. So we know we need to divide by a factor to actually figure out what was the fastening torque on that. And so we divide by that factor of 0.79. I'll explain how I get there in just one second. That equates to 158.8 foot-pounds as far as what we equate the fastening strength of this tool. So Kobalt was claiming 200 foot-pounds of force. Again, they're claiming that on the breakaway side. We got 300 foot-pounds. It wouldn't do 350, but it did do 300 foot-pounds. Also, we then torqued, 200 foot-pound fasteners, 10 in a row, see if it would break all those free. It had no problem doing that. Hammered on them for a few seconds, but again, even towards the end, wasn't taking any longer than it did in the beginning. So we didn't see any weakness of kind of fall off, if you will, or degradation. A lot of times the smaller impact wrenches, when you get to that 10th one in a row, you'll see some fall off there where it's starting to struggle, heat up, things like that. We did not notice that after 10 in a row. As far as a compact impact wrench, we doubt you're going to be pushing it any harder than that than we just did right there, at least in succession. If you are, then step up to a bigger impact wrench, really and truly. Now, when we look at the numbers of the fastening torque, again at 158.8 foot-pounds of fastening torque, that's pretty impressive. Again, we're looking at a compact unit, so it does quite well. Now, the other interesting thing is the actual right angle impact wrench that we've already reviewed of Kobalt actually did more than that. That's what's impressive on a 3/8 inch anvil as well. There's no slouch to this one, but the fact that the right angle impact actually fastened more than this did, hey, you got to wonder. Anyway, hey, great little tool, 99 bucks for bare tool. So without the battery, you're looking at $99. Now, if you're stepping into a battery and a charger, you're probably going to spend another 100 bucks. I think they have a deal for like $129. You can get a 2 amp hour and a 4 amp hour and the charger. So let's say if you had to do that and the bare tool, you're going to be in it for $229. Now, if you already have the Kobalt 24 volt batteries, now you're looking at just a $100 spend to be in this platform, and 5-year warranty on these tools as well. You'll find them at Lowe's, so check them out. Again, it's the Kobalt Compact Impact Wrench. Specifically, this is the half-inch version, and it has both the hog ring on it as well as the pin as well. So if you're running a pin and O-ring system, you can use those as well. But check them out at Lowe's or Lowe's.com. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And as always, if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you like this video? That's all. If you like it, hit the like and subscribe. If you didn't, give us that thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.